watching the clock, 10,000 hours go by. I keep putting in work, the tears are filling my eyes. I swear I've never been tested like this, but this is mine. It's not a matter of chance, just a matter of time. Never look back. If something standing in my way, I always push back. If something seemed impossible, I never took that. Nah, cause now I know better. Can't stop, won't stop, I won't quit ever. As far as won't take me, the highest fall, it won't break me. The blood and sweat is what made me. I'ma get mine, just a matter of time.
We're back again, guys. The reason why we're back is that the series is quite not over yet. This means that BBQ and JAG, as close as we expected, they're still on at it, and we don't have a clearly decided winner as of yet. Really was heavy pressure, obviously, for these last two placed teams in the LCK, meaning that losing out to either of their opponents means that they get further down in the rankings and have less of a hope to get back up to the standings. So it just means that JAG and BBQ, very important for both of these teams to collect the win today. And we actually get to see with Game 2, BBQ coming back to win after Game 1 was almost another win for them, but having lost Game 1 in the end, we go back to Game 2 now. BBQ do pick up the pieces, and they do pick up as the winners game number 2. And let's look at some of the highlights here and see how it worked out from the early game. The trick, obviously, with the Trundle having already spotted that vision just upwards a little bit, as he was just trying to be very, very careful as he just tried to steal away obviously the stack potential of Kindred. Of course, it is his jungle that he's actually supposed to take, so seemingly very cautious in the way, knowing that the Kindred could come at any time. So this was right around where we saw the vision, especially the ward, putting a very good placement there. And still, you can see Trick, although he's taking his rep up right now, he's very, very careful and trying to use that smite a bit early to make sure that Kindred does not come in for the counter jungle. But at the same time, we look at where Kindred might be in the surroundings there, and he's just trying to go a little bit deep to make sure he can get a gank without being spotted out. At the same time, you look at it here when you just pull back, does get a kill over towards Grace on that rise before Kindred was able to come for the cover. It just meant that there's a constant vision and constant knowledge of where Kindred was at all times was the key point. BBQ gaining the advantages at every time, trying to take away the stacks every time the Kindred tries to come and counter jungle towards the BBQ side, but JAG really not utilizing the Kindred pick very well and having already been figured out in terms of the pathing, and that became the most important thing for BBQ, collecting their advantages to get the win in game number 2. We also look at another highlight here, and this was of course a little bit right after 20 minutes or so, and this is where everything that was going around in terms of JAG just kind of being conspicuous as to where everybody is going to be around the surroundings, and places 2 wards. Obviously, you see that right around red. It's a little bit on that little bush, and once again, that the advantage of vision that BBQ did not have. It just meant that you had to lose a summoner spell, otherwise it was able to get survived. But right after this play, the more significant play that comes through is just right after this one, because this is right after when the two wards were planted down by Nova, and now we finally see the red buff being spawned. Of course, knowing the timing, this is where it all comes through, and basically Upti just completely blinded out on that blind side where BBQ had no vision whatsoever, and just complete take of that jungle, and it's a waste of time, obviously, not even getting the red buff, no experience, no gold whatsoever, and that means the Jin try to pick up the scraps there and trying to use the best out of the vision advantage, as we always like to emphasize. Really was an opportunity for Jin to come back in that game too, to try to pick back, but it really was just a back and forth action with both teams trying to utilize the vision that they had to try to win the game, but it became in the end that BBQ did win out that game number 2. Let's look at some of the reactions coming from the fans here. And really just looking at how everyone, BBQ, when they come in a spicy mode, they do come very tasty, but as the winners as well. So whenever you come around to Korea, of course, try one of their spicy chickens as well. They will do you justice, and just good enough to get them a win here, but see if they can collect another win with another spicy BBQ is what they're going to be waiting for here, because Game 3 will be underway very soon. But at the same time, we have to wait for Bittel to do his one-line summary. You can see Dangwon very, very excited to hear what he has for that one-line summary. It could be anything, and I'm just waiting now. And Trundle turned the right direction. He was facing the right direction at the right times, and he turned at the right time. So Trundle turn is the one-line summary here, and I don't know what to make of it, but you guys probably do, so I'm just handing it off to you guys.
I don't. I'm not sure what to make of it. I'm not sure what to make of this series.
I understand it perfectly, but I'm going to choose not to share it with you.
Okay. That is perfectly fine. Well, hey, look. Speaking of the Trundle, it's going to be Trick picking up the MVP. This is, again, a bit of a seesaw for him. Started off really, really good. Had some poor moments in the middle of the game, but then by the end, kind of brought it back all together.
Well deserved for Trick, I would say. This is where Grace decided not to flash, and I must admit that Grace had a pretty damn poor game here. Too many Vladimir flanks where Grace wasn't involved at all. I would imagine either communicating that you're not going in or going in would be better than just watching your teammate dying, but what do I know about professional Rise play? As, unfortunately here, Jin Air, they were actually able to turn this game around. We thought that Jin Air might be able to close the 2-0, but the play that let them down was a little bit later in the piece around bot lane, where they unfortunately kind of seized their death a little bit too much.
Yeah, it seemed like overall there was just a lot of disconnects, particularly involving Teddy here with the Vladimir. Upti just stepping a bit too far off the land for Spite as well. Pretty costly mistake.
Well, yeah.
There's definitely some moments.
I just don't have anything nice to say, so I just don't say anything.
I don't have that much I can say on broadcast.
What am I supposed to say when he skips his way to death? It's not
Oops.
Well, there's a lot of oopses in the late game here for Jin Air, and that means we got Game 3, baby, and that's what I'm very excited about.
It's the kind of series where when we don't have anything nice to say, we should have a soundboard that we could just play different things. That would just be a womp-womp type little moment.
It's an option that we should keep open for future Jin Air BBQ games.
We should, well, you know
what?
There might not be any more after this
Hey.
other than potential promotion tournament.
Exactly. There might be a best of 5.
But after that, who knows if we'll see both of these
It was the
teams
best of
together
5.
again.
It was the worst of 5.
Yep.
Wow. Game 3.
Here we go!
How
Woo!
could it back up?
Ladies
Such
and
an
gentlemen,
amazing game of
it's
League
time.
of Legends.
It's time to get ready for the third and final game of the evening. Jin Air versus BBQ tied up 1-1, a best of 1 to decide everything. See who's going to be walking away with the victory here today. It's not going to change the standings at all.
Hey.
Jin Air.
Who's going to be walking away with a ban from the Jin Air side? Jin Air, like I mentioned, have now perfected the late game scenario of waiting till 30 seconds is down before banning anything.
Yeah. See, if Jin Air had gotten a 2-0, it would have moved them to a -9, which would have put them in touching distance of MVP. Now, it's not going to do a whole lot, so they just kind of stay in the same position.
Hey, they've got bigger problems than game score. They'll go for match score. A match win is still a match win. It's fine.
Absolutely.
Don't worry about it. Jin Air really is going to wait till the last second to pick every single pick and ban. I love it. Quintessential Jin Air. See how the bans are changing. Bans first time around Rakan, Morgana, Swain. Maybe you can afford to dispense with the Morgana ban.
I think
Might
so.
consider the Trundle ban. Would be one to consider, I would say, on the blue side. BBQ have already said, screw this established meta. We're just banning Tom Kench.
Yeah.
That's very interesting.
Talia Zoe was what we saw from them on the red side the first time out. Now,
We could have
Tom
a-
Kench added.
We could definitely have a bevy of first picks available and potentially some fun trades happening, as Jin Air do ban the Morgana anyway, so we got some high-tier picks available.
There's a lot of them. Depending on what this final ban from BBQ is.
It could be anything, Gilios. It could be anything.
Ban the Jin.
I mean, it did a lot of damage.
It did. They can also ban Anivia again.
I cannot get into the mind of BBQ. Are they even going to ban at all? They will ban Galio.
Okay.
Well, they flirted with not banning, and they decided to just ban the Galio. So it's going to be a first pick Nocturne, you would imagine.
I mean,
Taking a bit longer this time because Jin Air have perfected the art of locking in around 3 seconds. Whoa!
Oh.
Early game lock in there.
okay.
Nicely done. Who says Jin Air can't play the early game?
That's the problem, is that they need to get ahead, really ahead in the early game. Try to close things out, because by the end of game 1, couldn't ult in. He was pretty useless. He was just trying to deny vision with the paranoia.
Have I got a
instead.
champion to pair with the Nocturne? Let me present Shen.
Oh my god.
Shen is available. I don't think BBQ's going to take it. They left it open in game number 1 on the same side.
You are correct, sir.
They flash the Kindred and say, but we have this Gragas situation. But you can only take one of those. Which one do they want? They seem to want the Kindred.
Could just leave a Gragas here for Jin Air to knock Trick off of that lamp
Whoa!
spite.
This guy's almost knocked himself out of the portrait. Come on, Grace.
I don't want to be on camera after that game.
Get back in the portrait, Grace. Come on. Well, let's see what they want to deal with. They will go for the Gragas.
Okay.
And here we go. Yeah,
Okay.
now we gotten fun. Grace's Yasuo most likely, as we have not seen a visit yet from Teddy. I'm a fan. You can lane the Yasuo against Zoe pretty decently. I feel like the posture bot is going to have a field day with some of these players. Thankfully, they don't have the cameras on us, because our posture does tend to slant away.
Oh,
during
I
games.
slump real hard during the series. But, okay. And now Vladimir for Ghost.
Bit of tricky pick for BBQ, but they had a good Vladimir game last time out, so looked good on that a few days ago. So, now there's quite a lot of damage on the side of BBQ, but crucially for them, no tanks. And that can be a problem, because no tank games are very hard to execute, and BBQ haven't won many games, so only 4 game wins of the season. They're going to ban the Rise, because, of course, Teddy would be most likely running the
That's
Rise
true.
in this game, as there's a lot of attack damage among Nocturne and Yasuo, so that's just a very smart ban from the side of BBQ.
Mundo gonna be banned out of the top lane here by Jin Air. They realize there's not a lot of beat fear on this BBQ squad.
We have realized that Crazy's posture pretty good.
Yeah, he's alright, you know.
You gotta talk about what you gotta talk about. There's been some woeful posture, even at 10:33 p.m. Korean Standard Time. Crazy's posture, solid B+.
Upright. He's ready to go. Ezreal gonna be banned away, so don't want to work with the potential poke damage there from Teddy.
I wonder if we're going to try to engineer some magic damage on the side of Jin. And now Gragas could go top lane and build AP. Very, very possible. Get a Rumble in there somewhere. Also could be considered bot lane AP dealers with Morgana, Swain, and also the Rise answered. Pretty tricky to set up. Heimerdinger would be one of them, but Heimerdinger has been played once by Hanwha Life and now has been exported to North America.
So Shen ban away by Jin Air. Seems like they don't want to go for that pick here later on, so might be implying that the Gragas is going to be for Nova in the bot lane. Alistair does come through for Ignar this time around.
Crazy had a great game on the Cho'Gath the last time these two teams faced, and we saw some Cho'Gath yesterday, so you imagine it's around the scrims.
Wasn't that good?
It was good for Crazy, but yes, not so good yesterday from Sword. When it comes to marksman, not too many left open.
Do we just go for the second Lucian of the day? We do.
Could have gone AP Varus or AP Kai'Sa, but chose not to. Prizing the lane control here is Teddy. And will we just go Lucian Braum? It's one way to kill a Vladimir, I must admit, because Vladimir finds it hard to disengage through the culling, ignite, and the stun that can come up from the very fast to proc concussive blows. So another knock up also, so I don't mind the Braum pickup. See if Sowan does smatter in some ability power for his top lane Gragas this time. BBQ just looking for their final pick here. Could be flexing around the Vladimir. Tempt has a victory on the season, but expected to be Ghost's pick. Will they just take Varus, you wonder? Hey!
Okay, Cho'Gath.
They're the ones to pick up the Cho'Gath after all. Crazy had a very good game on it the last time these two teams did face. Could it be a good luck charm for the side of BBQ? And tell a lie, of course, that was actually in the MVP series. So the last time they played, it was Crazy's Cho'Gath popping off against ADD's Gnar, 7-1-4 in that particular series. This time it's against the Gragas, two beefy magic damage tanks on the top side. Trick's going to be on the Kindred this time and had a great game in that MVP series. But Umti's Nocturne has got its eyes in because the early game is where we're going to really inspect the use of the Paranoia.
Yeah, not only that, but the pickup here from the Yasuo. See if we can synergize those last breaths in with the Glacial Fissures and with these explosive casks out from Sowan. Grace showing us 3 different picks throughout this series. The Anivia, good. The Rise, not so much. Now we land on Yasuo.
Definitely going to be go big or go home, as Yasuo is the champion. The unsung hero for me, the secret excitement, is with Ignar. He's on his Alistair. He is one of the most creative Alistair players that has ever hit the Rift. He loves those flanks, so hopefully some highlights from Ignar. And for a lot of fans who want to see the underdog prevail, BBQ, 1 game win away, once again, from their first series win of summer season.
Yeah, desperately want to get that one on the board, and if they can't take it away from Jin Air, they might not be able to take it at all. Game 3, a final one here to decide everything. Jin Air looking to bounce back. This victory. BBQ, can they get their first series? Let's find out as we jump onto the Rift for the last time tonight. Audience being powered by free chicken, and oh yeah, look at the cowbell.
I'm powered by the cowbell. I've never shared that with anyone, but the truth is finally out there. Cowbell is my life force, and I am recharged, Achilleos. I am ready to hit new highs of hype in team fights because the cowbell will do me right.
Nice little BBQ Blitzcrank coming through. Fortunately, not going to see that pickup today.
Looked incredibly confused also.
Yeah, why am I not in the game?
I have similar questions. Could ask the same question about Nocturne, who hasn't been seen too often, as the Lucian is going to be the one that sees some attention. Already mentioned it in our first series of the day. Lucian win rates, definitely not the highest in summer season.
Certainly not. And Prey didn't really do that many favors.
No.
In a game 2. He did help the Galio win rate, though. Because Fly was playing that for Gen G, so that got bumped up again.
Because of the leash that Trick was getting on the bottom side, Teddy's going to be the first one to lane. They're going to proc the minions here, start the push on. Probably going to go play the Ruin King here to try to deal with the Vladimir. Very, very standard in the Marksman versus Vladimir lane. Umti.
Spotted.
He is spotted. Don't know what he's really looking for. Level 2 gang onto Tempt, very unlikely.
Wait
Trick
for
there
that
for the counter.
Scuttle Crab to come out.
That's true.
He'll grab it.
Didn't really have any reason not to walk that way.
Yep, really easy pickup for Trick, and he's got the mark on that side as well, so easy take.
Skirmishing for Zoe and Kindred going to be a lot stronger than the Yasuo and Nocturne, so while it doesn't feel good to give away the marked Scuttle, you'll take Scuttle rather than being too scuttled by a Kindred every time. So Umti just backs to his side, doesn't want to give up any buffs. May actually find Kindred at his blue and is on a ward, so let's see how everyone collapses with that information.
Yeah, he's been pinging this out. Ever since they saw the Scuttle started up, it's going to fall down. Around 500. That's why he comes down. Trick's going to find it.
No blue buff picked up by Umti then. Frustrating for him. Should be fine, though, in his jungle clear. Going to be a bit slower. Definitely add some time when it comes to getting around the map. And the rush to blue. And level 6, inevitably. Trick continues to juggle around. Nice when everything comes together. The Scuttle, the blue buff steal. Comfortable times for Trick on the road.
And it is. Puck slam into pop-up, so on. Going to be getting a whole lot done as far as trading in this top lane. Just going to have to wait for the wave to push in, get farmed up.
We definitely take the Gragas side, and the laning phase trades is, man, that's a lot of damage onto Grace.
Yeah. And that's going to be free exhaust coming down. Windwall helping to block that Battle Star.
Tempt was one of our better Zoe players in spring season, but hasn't found the same results in summer on any champions, let alone Zoe. Fun to see if Tempt can pop off, though. He's been definitely on the sides of BBQ games rather than being a big carry like he was in spring season. For those top lane trades, the Gragas buff to extended auto attack range on the W don't really help him against Cho'Gath, because then he's opting into the Vorpal Spike trades, which he will inevitably lose, all things considered.
Well, already you can see how painful this lane is. As Redemption coming down. Makes his way out of there, but a dive in underneath the turret, a brief one. Ignite coming down, and Grace is gonna die. First blood coming through, the solo kill picked up by Tempt.
Really nice solo kill there from Tempt. Scout-esque, and we saw Scout dunking on Kuro back at Rift Rivals. Walks up, Grace stays too long. Cleanse and Flash are down, so a repeat gank is possible. Tempt summon is down too, but the first blood, it's a big prize.
Yep. Already putting that one on the board, doesn't even need any jungle pressure whatsoever to get it done.
And he gets the not ever expensive Lost Chapter first purchase as well. What a lovely time Tempt is going to have, and definitely a disaster for Grace, who goes back and buys a second Doran's. Oh, it hurts to look at.
Yep. This is very, very rough tidings for the Yasuo. Every solo queue player cries out in despair. Windwall coming down, but Tempt just bends it right around it. Still gets the hit there onto Grace. Umti hovering nearby, but nothing more than he can do than look on in horror.
That's the sentence, and definitely apt in this game. Now Umti can wrap around. Do they have the damage to kill the Gragas? We'll find out. As here we go.
Yeah, Trick coming in as well. Grace, that's not the way towards your base. It's gonna be a knock-up coming through, but Trick finds a second kill for BBQ. Crazy, getting pinched on, but can't really threaten this Cho'Gath too much. He also has the flash, but they won't even get that baited out of him.
I'd like to disagree with you. With the shorter death timers in the early game, that's the fastest way back to the base.
This is true. Oh dear.
Shut up.
He's not even in this game.
It was Lamb that I was looking for there. Regardless, back in the game, and I'm sure the bot lane doesn't really know what to make of some of the mid-game machinations that the mid lane has gone through here. Is the second shop isn't much better than the first one. Kilios.
He just keeps coming back, just gets slept over and over again.
Good news, if he dies a third time, the Brawler's Glove is 200 gold cheaper after the hotfix.
There you go. Looking on the bright side. Umti waiting nearby. Doesn't have an ult, though. And Trick is also in the vicinity. They're pushing up. Slow comes down. Body slam going to be used. The cask, though, it goes way too far. So on. Can't knock Crazy up the lane. They'll still get the flash. But no such kill to be found here for Jin Air.
BBQ Olivers are in a very nice spot as Jinair is making some mistakes with the fire lit under them. Looking so comfortable for Jinair after winning game number 1, but BBQ are coming back in pretty big in this scenario. Trick camping the jungle, he'd take a blue. He'll also take a Nocturne if he can get one. How about a turret dive?
Oh, yep, coming around. Looking for Grace. Headbutt Paul does get the connection.
Oh.
Wind wall blocking out. So Grace will survive, but not much damage taken here onto the Alistar, and they don't burn anything for it. No flash used. So overall, not going to cost them much other than some roam time for Ignar, but the roam up from the river does alleviate pressure for Ghost, so he can just continue to farm up underneath the tower anyway.
Ghost has gone very respectful. First time I'm seeing the rush on anything other than CDR boots. It's actually gone for the Ninja Tabby rush to try to stick trades a little bit better against the bot lane Lucian he's facing. We mentioned Trick hunting for a Nocturne. He'll take the blue buff. A lot of control here. I imagine there'll be another visit topside around 10 minutes for the Rift Herald, and everything going to plan for the side of BBQ.
I mean, given the triple AD threat, I guess the Ninja Tabby would make
Yeah.
quite a bit of sense here for Ghost.
Just away
some
from
of
the
damage
norm.
from the Nocturne and the Yasuo as well as that Lucian.
And we did table set about Ignar being one of the best roaming Alistars, so
Yeah.
nice to see him empowered to leave lane.
And he has those Moby boots ready to go.
Big problem in mid lane. Grace is
Yeah.
going to be so far behind the
30.
item curve.
31 CS up right now.
You want 12-minute, 13-minute as your Phantom Dancer timing, and it's kind of a dream to be picking that up in this game.
He's got dagger boots.
It's usually first buy as Berserker Greaves, then Zeal, then the Phantom Dancer, and all those are so significantly delayed. Umti hasn't picked up a single blue buff this game, and doesn't look like he's going to be picking up one here either. Go for a very aggressive back.
Oh. We'll ignore that. He had the follow-up. Always have a contingency plan.
Do you know what Grace's is?
Throw another spell.
Maybe Gathering Storm? Too early to be completely concerned, but yeah, Grace is going to be on Struggle Street for a while. Nice wards being put down. Control ward top side. Ward over it. Top spot at the Gromp. Umti going to clear this one out, but he's delayed on his Warrior Enchant as well. Temp's going to have a very early Ludens in the mid lane to poke around. Do they have the ability to kill Crazy? His flash is down, so this is definitely a good spot for them to look for a kill.
Well, they're fishing for it yet again. Explosive cast. Take 2. Paranoia coming through. So he works his way down into the river, and seems like they should have him this time around. Rupture not going to hit anything, and don't even have to pop the cask. Just go ahead and kill him off. Trick was nearby, but not close enough to respond in time to help keep that Cho'Gath alive. Jump forward, coming in for Tempt. Spends it right around the wall yet again. Ignite coming down, looking for another kill on to Grace. Flash forward, one more hit would do it. Can he get him? Yes, he can.
Nicely played by Tempt again. This one is clean. He bends around the damage. He also able to hit the trouble bubble and weave it in. This is the Tempt we have not seen in summer season. And when BBQ used to win, it was largely through this man.
Yep.
Nicely played.
Actually looking back in form here versus Jinair at least. Jinair. Where do you go from here? How do you try to stop this hemorrhaging out of the mid lane? Nice shield from Umti.
I mean, you just have to factor in that Yasuo will be useless for a really long time. It's going to take a very, very long time for him to have 2 items. And the problem is,
But pulverize in onto Nova. Flashes away, throws up that Glacial Fissure as he tries to get away. Teddy's just going to say, peace, dude, you're on your own. Recalls in the bush, and probably for the better here for the Lucian.
It was definitely the right move. He doesn't have heal. There's nothing he can do. He just leaves, front row center to his support dying. I mean, what is the second item going to be for the Yasuo this game? Because Infinity Edge, maybe you have to go it, and if you die, you die. But if you go second item Sterix, super delayed, it's going to be a sad time.
Hex Drinker, just to try to survive. Oh dear. Well, Trick takes down the first dragon of the game, so Cloud over to BBQ, and it will be an Infernal. Crazy's coming in next, spicing things up.
Crazy was really fast. Maybe it's just the visual effect, but he's rolling along the rift.
Maybe because he's not that large yet. So he doesn't have that slowed down animation, so it looks like he's actually kind of going pretty quick.
Well, Yasuo has 500 gold more than the enemy Alistar. That's not much gold. Especially because Alistair only has 1 assist this game.
Oh, man.
2,900 gold at 12 minutes. Confirmed not very good. 65 CS at 12 minutes. Also confirmed not good. For comparison, Teddy had 300 CS at 24 minutes in game number 1.
Well, they believed in this pick. They might still, but it certainly doesn't look good. Cullen going to be used. Ghost goes dangerously low, managing to stay alive. I think we went straight for the Ninja Tabi, got that locked in, and then just bought the needlessly large rod.
He's had a lot of lane presence in the bot side to the tune of a nice 32 CS lead, but it's kind of been a lone hand kind of thing for his side. Good timing on the win wall that time.
Just going to pop a shield there.
All Umti can do is camp his blue, very much hoping for his first blue of the game. The gank top side was well executed, but now that Crazy's flash is back up, it's going to have to be a bit more of a battle of wills when it comes to the cask timing and the flash timing on the Cho'Gath. If the Lucian can draw lots of resources bot lane and not die, that's the best chance for Yasuo to pick up some farm. If they can also take bot lane turret first, maybe Yasuo can just zombie push bot side and pick up some farm. The numbers again. Grace just needs as much time as possible. The Jin Air playbook was always to delay. The delay probably should be on once more.
I get some damage there on a Crazy. Can't do so. Wind wall just denying the attacks in onto the tower. But don't think it's going to be enough to stop. Lands a knock-up, but it would be pretty suicidal if he went for the last breath there.
Nothing
just
behind.
have to watch that first brick get handed over to BBQ.
Yeah, nothing behind the CC, so no reason to do anything other than to give up mid lane, first brick, first turret blood to the side of BBQ. I admit, Umti's Nocturne, 2 games in a row, has been a bit of a passenger outside the top lane gank. His bot side.
It's going to be Ghost. He has the proc coming through there from Nova. Throws up the Glacial Fissure as Ghost goes into the Sanguine Pool, trying to stay alive, but now he's up in front of the calling and will get taken down. Nova actually finds the killing blow as he tosses out the Winter's Bite.
Hey, what do we say about ways that Jin Air can get back into the game? Send lots of resources bot lane by the enemy team and turn it around. Ghost flash was up, didn't think he'd die, the chair shot to the back. This was WWE, it'd be a disqualification, but in this case, there's a kill to the side of Jin Air. It's good news for them, and whatever can take the heat away from the mid lane is a good sign for the Jin Air GreenWings.
Ghost getting ready to respawn here. His attempt tries to hold down the turret. Clear out the wave. TP available. He's coming in behind them. They're going to be looking for a flank now. There's no Hemo Plague. Charging up, looking for the hit on the Nova. Paranoia comes down instantly into the Sanguine Pool and flashes, does Ghost. So both summoners going to be down. Ignar looking for an entry on the side, but doesn't find it. So just going to be settling for a control ward.
Grace can back away. Gonna go for a shop here, maybe first Zeal available. Unfortunately, he couldn't stay mid lane. That would have been the dream for Jin Air, getting another couple of minion waves on the Yasuo. Slowly but surely, trying to piece together his Phantom Dancer, the ultimate core item of the Yasuo. There's been good moments for Jin Air. They were very, very far behind in this game with a mid laner who really couldn't accomplish too much. Now with his turret down, maybe there's more access to farm for him. Don't normally have glass half full things to say about losing the first turret in the mid lane. BBQ definitely have control over this Rift Herald. Can there be a way for Jin Air to contest it? Your first thought is no.
Yeah, they have the ward, so they're aware that this is going down, but there's nobody nearby. You can see Umti down at the bottom side of the map. They're going to be trying to make a play for that tier 1 tower. So Herald's going to get picked up. See where they want to... Okay, now it's picked up. We'll see where they want to turn that attention to.
Look for the kill onto Trick here.
Yep, pushing him away from the scuttle, so at least get that take.
They take a scuttle. It's not a 2-man invade for vision. Now they can put so many people top side and poke with Zoe to take turrets, or they can invest the Rift Herald to get them. And the total damage dealt this game, predictably, with the solo kills. Tempt is up there, but Lucian just doing free damage onto the Vladimir to the tune of a 50 CS lead, and that kill that went over to Nova is a counterpoint to all the carnage inflicted by BBQ in the mid lane.
Umti hovering nearby here in the bottom side of the map, but doesn't have the ult ready to go. And the odds of killing Crazy still going to be pretty slim, so just going to be farming up down there as we just have the full swap coming through.
This definitely shouldn't be happening, and by this I mean Jin Air setting up more scenarios where they can do turret damage than that of BBQ. BBQ have the Zoe in a very big point of power for Siege, as Ignite takes a lot of free damage.
Yeah, that's going to be the culling drawn out. Ignite still getting chipped away at. It's another chair to the back.
I feel like BBQ should be able to minimize their losses and maximize their wins bigger as watching this play.
Shield coming through as they try to cleanse that one off. They managed to do so. Big hit coming in, and that's just going to be Umpty getting annihilated. Wonderful pick coming through.
Damn, very creative in his timings on those paddle stars. Waits out. The shield there is, well, that was dumb, but we got the 2 buttons pressed at the same time. The fat finger.
Whoops. Oh, Rift Herald coming in. Crazy on the backside. Gets a pop-up onto Teddy. Battlestar going to miss, and that's just going to be Nova going down the feast. Rips him apart. Ghost. It's the heal coming through. Manages to stay alive to get the kill onto Teddy as well. Tower is going to fall. 7-2 as BBQ keep pushing forward. Keep trying to accelerate the pace of the game. But not that far behind is Jin Air, as Grace desperately tries to swipe away at this tower, but doesn't do that much damage.
But Grace is out of nowhere. Only 25 CS behind his opponent that he couldn't hold a candle to. So while losing inner structures is not ideal, no third charge for Shelly, but still a great adventure for her. This is farm onto the Yasuo. They did get a turret down, but it's still overall a better trade for BBQ. But Trick is going to let this one leash a bit too much, and now he's going to put about 10,000 damage into Blue. Not the best mechanical moments.
It's like a seesaw, you know? They get the nice catch on Humpty. He fat fingers the Lamb's Respite.
Yep.
He lets the blue buff release, which means that we should be going back to the good side of things for Trick on the next play.
Look, R and 4 are very close to each other on a keyboard. You even have one to inspect it. Can you confirm that R and 4 are close?
I can. I can confirm.
That is an understandable fat finger.
The one is on top of the other.
Normally, we see the Rift Herald fail put down when people are trying to sweep or ward. Not the ult used, but this time we got a bonus. Jin Air still
We're keeping it interesting.
We definitely have had an interesting series.
All right, we'll push, looking for the top tower. Seems like they're going to be able to get this one for free. But will be in exchange for an Infernal Dragon on the bottom side.
This is the sort of game where with the mid laners so far behind and a sieging advantage to Zoe, there probably never should have been exchanges. So exchanges actually, again, decent from the side of Jin Air. They're going to get 2 turrets if no one comes to join. The Cho'Gath
for it.
He needs help. Back. He's not going to get any help. This is going to be second turret.
Okay, Jin Air inching their way back through, still going to be down. Considerable amount at the moment, 3,300 here. As we keep going up, but for 20 minutes, and given the way that this game started, that is not that bad.
Definitely. I would completely agree with that assertion. Achilleos and Teddy also, in the midst of this time, is 2 items. He's actually very powerful on the Lucian as we speak.
Yeah, Cleaver done on top of the Blade of the Ruin King.
A BF sword comes in. The cleave and the armor penetration starts, and Nocturne and Yasuo can both profit off it. They need a Zeke's Convergence super badly. I guess Braum will build that as second item. Don't really have anyone else to build it, but there's definitely future teamfights that Jin Air could potentially win in this game, and that was not looking likely 10 minutes ago.
The big factor here for the side of BBQ getting this win is pretty much resting on Tempt. He has been the cleanest, most consistent member so far in this game.
Cooped up in mid lane too much for my liking. I think Zoe has some great roam timings. I don't know if that's Tempt's fault or a result of the vision. If you look at the vision right now, doesn't really empower him to make too many moves. They have 1 ward aggressively on this blue side. But the easy objectives are down for BBQ. Very long lane in the top lane for Jin Air. Baron, when it comes to a Baron start, their Baron damage is not the best, but their Baron turn is very strong with an Alistar flank, a Vladimir flank, and also just Zoe as a champion. But they need Crazy to tank it up, and that's kind of the struggle. Already tonight, we've seen Kingzone struggle with pushing a game forward in a Kindred comp, and Kindred comps just have that eccentricity of more Baron damage, sure, but an easier time killing it than tanking it. As the wind wall goes down, and Jin Air's trying to buy time.
Yeah, not quite in the right position to deny that damage onto the tower, though. So still get a lot. Explosive cast comes through. That's going to be the last breath coming in, but the Yasuo doesn't have that many items, so the damage isn't going to be that explosive. Ignore taking things up at the front. Takes a lot of damage. Lamb's Respite going to be coming through, keeping everybody alive. for the moment. Rupture goes in onto Nova. It's a little bit of damage, but overall still going to be alive. Jump forward here from 10th, looking for the trouble bubble. Connects in onto Teddy in the back, but the wind wall and the unbreakable come up. They keep him alive. Heal drawn out from Nova, and the turret will go down, but a lot of back and forth there. Things looking rough on both sides, but BBQ will come out on top.
And the Siege gets the turret, so even though it looked like it could be a 50-50 either way, objective goes the way of BBQ. 5th turret of the game. You already alluded to the Baron start, the potential struggles around that objective. The more inner turrets you have down, the more straightforward a Baron take is. Trick has gone for Phage and also the Zeal. So I imagine slowly working towards a rapid-fire cannon and also the Black Cleaver, given the Trinity Force doesn't build out of Zeal anymore.
Yeah.
Some ability power starting to come together for Ghost. The item's so delayed from Grace, it will be the second item, Sterix, which he probably needs not to pop, but doesn't inspire you in terms of damage. And even Nova, very delayed in getting any sort of Zeke's convergence, as the Knight's Vow is slowly on the way.
Well, Rabadon's death cap completed here for Ghost, so damage starting to become come online a bit here for this Vladimir. Just needs to try to get some flanks in to really deliver it. See, last team fight, Teddy doing his damnedest to try to bring Jinair over the finish line.
Omti and Grace kind of flooded to deceive and zone for the Lucian to do the hard work. It's usually when Lucian is known for putting out big damage numbers around the 2-item mark, and very accelerated in CS, 250 here for Lucian, still 50 ahead. Wards have been placed, one very deep ward for the side of BBQ. Ghost could look to teleport onto that soon, but maybe it's too high risk. Long lanes in top and mid means a lot of early information for the side of BBQ. We're still waiting for Ignar to go on one of his trademark flanks and really make Jinair pay.
Right now, just keeping pressure applied in the top side and commanding the vision around the Baron pit, but actually threatening it, very tricky for BBQ. Don't have a ton of damage to offer up onto the Baron, given the slow nature of the Zoe and the Vladimir.
There's actually still vision on the pit from Jinair, which is unfortunate.
True.
They need a control ward there as well. Can't tell who has put down a control ward, but there's 2 bot sides, so 2 people definitely should be replacing theirs. Come on, BBQ. This is a bit sloppy from them. Too much information allowed for Jinair, especially when they have no turret.
Very costly, but here comes Ignar. He's on one of his secret missions. Temp jumping forward. They get the headbutt there on into Teddy. They push him into the fight. Goes over the wall. He is going to get popped. Ignar comes up with the kill in the end. Off the backside of that Ignite. And now the chase comes through. Grace has to flash away. BBQ either chase forward or they can go straight back over onto the Baron. Seems like that's going to be the call.
Amusingly, the extra vision that shouldn't have been there for Jinair actually baited the Lucian into walking up. Nice flank from Ignar. They get the first kill.
Wonderfully done.
They got a lot of secure here. Trick and also the Feast come in. There's not going to be a contest. It should be Baron, BBQ.
This is when, if Ignar gets MVP, you ask him about it in the interview, and he's going to be like, yeah, we knew there was a war the whole time. It was just a 300 IQ play.
Don't listen to his lies. They did not know.
Yeah.
Jinair.
Oh, man. One step closer now, BBQ.
Yep, this should be the moment. Watching the replay here. No sighting of Ignar. Ignar finds his man. He only wants a Lucian. Flash headbutt. Teddy gets over the wall, but it doesn't matter. He's taken down as Ghost gets in there. They get their man. They get the Baron. Successful play by the side of BBQ. And taking the Baron there when they had inner turrets down was the right move by the side of BBQ.
Absolutely stellar setup here. Now, maybe looking for a push here in the mid lane. Perhaps just a Cloud Drake to slow down the pace of things a little bit.
Oh, no. Look who did the most damage.
Oh, boy. But Pulverize goes in onto Soon. Body slam over the wall. Grace again, a big burst. Double bubble connecting in onto Nova. He's going to get chunked down to half and might not be able to walk out of here with his life. The Paddle Star not connected, but here comes Ignar. Goes forward. Nova going to just burn the stopwatch, but will get taken down immediately thereafter. Ghost coming up with a kill. And BBQ have the run of the map.
Squishy center for the side of Jinair. No one can actually walk up, only Sowan and Nova are tanks, but Nova left to die. Nocturne had the ult, but no real way to approach the fight, and just paranoia for zoning. Wasn't the right decision there for Umti. They back away. Teddy on a bit of a lone side as Ignar brings back that cowbell to keep us pumped up.
Gotta love it.
What makes this man stop cowbell?
He's just watching the control ward die. Just keeps on clunking it. Now Engage coming through, but it's on to Crazy. Pretty tanky here with the Cho'Gath. Doesn't have a flash. FLICKR trying to get there to keep him alive. Zhonya's coming through, the rest of the team arriving. Lamb's Respite going to be tossed down. Go for the Engage. Can't take him down. Recall coming through. He's got the TP to rejoin. And the rest of BBQ just start pushing up the mid lane.
It's going to take them a long time to recall. I don't think they can afford to do this, but they have no other choice. This could be the inhibitor turret going down.
Yep. He's down into the bottom side of the map. BBQ clean up the mid. Look for the inhib. Crazy. Just working through this second tower. Should be able to get this. Temps pushing forward. Trouble Bubble in onto Nova yet again. No follow-up Paddle Star. He's going to be happy to finish off those two inhibs.
BBQ on the precipice of that first match win. We have never seen them in the summer season have a performance where they came off a win, and we've never seen how they're going to be able to try to arrest the slump that has put them into relegation spots. They have still odds on to be one of our relegation teams. Currently 4 match wins for MVP and SKT, 2 match wins for Jin Air means that 1 match win puts them still far away and with a very difficult schedule. They have lost to MVP for a second time. This is their second game against Jin Air. There are no more free wins, but the confidence of what this means to the squad and the sponsor is something that needs to be discussed. So this is them set up on a silver platter. They have their first match win of the season, but until the Nexus explodes, we cannot award them anything other than a participation medal.
10,000 gold just about in the lead, BBQ. Throwing this, I think would be sadder than not, getting the match win overall if they somehow lose this game. Jin Air potentially going from 2-1ing King Zone to losing to BBQ and giving them their first match win in the summer split.
Now, funny story is that back in the day, 2015, 2014, Jin Air were known as the Robin Hood team.
This is true.
Rob from the rich, give to the poor. King Zone are rich. Jin Air are facing a BBQ team who is certainly very poor in terms of the wins and losses. This would be old school Jin Air for sure.
Yep. Be the most Jin Air thing ever.
Ignar, a flashy Hex Flash. He hasn't shown us the dream, by the way, of Hex Flash into Cowbell. That would be some insane mechanics.
You're right, he hasn't. Maybe one of these days. We'll have to talk to him after the series. And tell him about it. A lot of pressure built up here onto the bottom side of the map. Super Creeps moving in. Mid as well. Starting to reach these Nexus towers. Grace tries to clear these out.
Gold lead rests at 10,000. BBQ should be able to engineer away with the 2 inhibitors down to gain this. Go for the tutorial, BBQ. Don't take any risks. This is your first win.
Trouble Bubble on the So-On. No follow-up to be found. Battlestar just going to be shorted. Will certainly zone them back. As Grace gets jumped on. That's going to be the Pulverize coming through off the back of that Hemo Plague. He still manages to stay alive here for the moment as Ignar gets popped up. Last breath not going to be seen. Grace just way too low. Cannot move forward. Umti going to fall. The Rupture comes in, gets the knock-up on the Teddy. Still alive. The members of Jin Air trying to limp back over to the fountain. Seems like they're going to be able to do so. But the inhibitors are under siege. The top one getting ready to fall. Another pop-up, a silence in on the Teddy. The Nexus is exposed, and ladies and gentlemen, winner, chicken dinner, BBQ. They're going to close this one out. Trick going golden, going to go low, but they still get the hits in. They will take the win. Raise your roosters for the first time in the summer split. BBQ have netted themselves a match victory.
Finally, BBQ have unleashed their first victory of the season. We don't know if they'll back them up with too many more, but you don't see huge elation from the players, but there is relief. They have finally found a victory. They have an assortment of talented players who deserve more than 1 match victory, but together as a 5, they have not been able to claim one. Crazy on one side seems finally sated about his team's performance. The side of Jin Air, this is of course such a counterpoint to their victory over King Zone just a few days ago. Will we see these two teams in a best of 5 in the promotion tournament in a couple of months' time? You would definitely think that the smart money is yes. Jin Air still has a lot to work on, so do BBQ. But on this day, like you say, raise the roosters, enjoy your chicken, you deserve it for once.
Not sure how short-lived it's going to be, but they managed to get the win here versus Jin Air. BBQ will not go through the summer split without a single match win. Was looking dangerously close, but that man right there, a lot of it on the back of his Alistar play. Ignar really helping to push them over the finish line. That flank play, catching Teddy around the Baron, absolutely perfect from him.
And it has to be one of Tempt or Ignar for the MVP. Tempt had a wonderful laning phase
the start
as well.
was so good.
Once the first couple of kills came in, it was a little bit sad seeing Grace just waddle in, and we never saw any relevance from his Yasuo at all. His game couldn't go on long enough for him to hit 3+ items. So BBQ, a team that thought they were building for a new future at the start of the year, bringing in Trick, bringing in Ignar. The reality has been very far away from that. But they, as you mentioned, will not be the first team to go through 18 best-of-3s without a match victory. Sonic Boom had just the one. BBQ, for now, just have the one. But if they can keep improving, maybe there are other teams, as we go on the season, that they can find game wins from as well.
I mean, I guess the most likely would be MVP.
They already have faced MVP twice.
That already has eluded them. The next team in the standings is SK Telecom. And then KT after that, and it just gets harder and harder. So really hard to judge.
They beat Kingzone in spring season, so at least when it comes to a matchup where they have some history in winning, that would be one. The Braum did the most damage in a team fight and actually did the 3rd most damage on the team, which is a thing that happened in this game.
Yep, more than the Nocturne, more than the Yasuo, which they tried to go for. It was a very confident lock-in from the side of Jin Air. You remember Yasuo came in pretty immediately.
Yasuo, a famous duo together.
Was just locked up, but just could not get off the ground at all. Tempt with the Zoe, constantly shutting him out. We'll see who the MVP is. Like you said, one of him or Ignar. And it's going to be Tempt with the Zoe. 2-0-7 here. His first MVP win of the split, as you might expect.
5 game wins. Only 5 MVPs have been handed out by the side of BBQ. Trick has a few of them. Tempt now has one. Great performance on the Zoe. Took the Ignite, got the solo kill, and rolled on from there. Very much an impressive look for him. And I imagine Zoe bans will soon ensue, as we saw a lot of outplays in the 1v1. This was the first where he understood his damage numbers, got the flash in. Last tick of Ignite, no problem. The buff comes in helpful. And then Grace doesn't have flash, and the friends come in to continue the dunking on the Yasuo.
Yeah, wind wall, no problem. We saw multiple times him just bending those paddle stars around to get the hits in. Like
really, really
here.
good.
And just keeps consistently harassing the Yasuo. Grace didn't really get to play League of Legends at all in this 3rd and final game.
Confident Yasuo thwarted for certain, as BBQ Olivers, again, pick up that victory. Most facets of the game strong here. Ignar roaming on the Alistar reminds you of better days for Ignar in particular, when he was pulling off some great performance against SKT for Misfits at Worlds 2017. But it was a lone hand game from Teddy. He was the only one in the laning phase to have any relevance, and there was too many threats on the side of BBQ, so even a fed and farmed Teddy was no match for BBQ Oliver.
Yeah, we saw him try his damnedest in this fight in particular, coming out on top of the most damage dealt, but there's only so much he could do. The rest of Jin Air just wasn't really in it. The Yasuo, the Nocturne weren't able to do much. As we get a close-up.
Yeah!
I love it.
That's the best part of the highlight reel.
I like how we're getting an Ignar and Tempt highlight reel for Tempt's MVP win.
They showed us what we wanted to see.
Yeah, it's perfect. We should have just said that it's split down the middle. They both win MVP for the first time in LCK history. It would have been an interesting change.
Well, a lot of firsts averted today that BBQ definitely didn't want to have inks next to their name. Congratulations to Tempt, congratulations to BBQ, and for the first time this season, we can actually share a word with them.
That we can. So first averted, but a first gained. Nice little exchange here, I'm sure. BBQ with the win. Let's go ahead, throw over to the MVP interview and hear from these guys for the first, and I mean, honestly, maybe last time this split. For their sake, fingers crossed. But Joel, take it away.
Thank you very much, guys. This is Joel. Very honorable to interview this glorious night because we have finally raised the roosters. Here they are, BBQ Small Olivers.
Momentous occasion.
They've been waiting for a long time, guys, with BBQ Oliver fans. Jungler for BBQ Oliver, Trick. Tempt, can you do some interview? I think I can. Hello, I am the mid laner, Tempt for BBQ Olivers. we want to dive in right to the game, but of rough times, to say the least, as to definitely the period up to far. I mean, the team morale was fine for now, but all these guys have been getting very good along with each other, so. And people have been saying that, that BBQ, even the top teams say that BBQ is not a team worth getting no wins across the league so far. But what has been the biggest problem for BBQ Oliver that maybe got them this record? I think competitive plays, we've been kind of just wayward in terms of the way we progress through our plays, and it doesn't really truly reflect our own skills. And even the commentators have been really complimenting. Today has been something special and different, and something that wasn't common as the typical BBQ we used to see. I think as a team we did have problems, but just all together in trying to just cooperate as a team and to try to just serve your role individually was the biggest thing for all of us today. And with the picks and bans, and obviously with strategizing, has been very, very diverse, more so than any other games we've seen from you guys so far. Anything that was a specific role as to the specific players? Well, for me, I was trying to be basically the icebreaker, trying to make sure we get the team morale going. That was my part personally, and trying to get positivity on the line. Of course, aside from raising the team morale, you raise the team chemistry and also the team performance with individual performances shown in multiple instances. And this was the first gank right here, and really just a rush coming in, and we also saw the ward, the vision overall playing to such a high effect. And what do you feel as if your thought process going through all of this? Of course, we all provide the communication, the shot calling as to what vision we have, what can we work around that, and how should we move forward with the vision that we have. And we did well with communicating with each other today. And we saw obviously with the loss coming in from one of the games, but otherwise, Gragas, obviously with the Trundle, has done so well today. I mean, I've practiced a lot with Trundle, and I feel like it's a composition that we all worked out very hard upon, so it just really reflected on today's games. Could have been a total wreck if it hasn't been the good one performance in terms of today's performance, and we saw that Kindred has been very just a popular pick in the jungle, but you don't seem to be preferring it that much. I personally like Kindred a lot, but the coaching staff really likes the Trundle. It's a little bit of difference in opinion, but I trust my coaches. But with the last match, obviously, it was very important, the picks and bans. Maybe some specific, definitely directions for you, Tempt. He was just telling me to just cheer up and so don't be down, and that was the biggest thing that he told me. And with Tempt, and you said the laning phase was the most important thing, that you were dying out in laning phase, and today it was really about the solo kills that came from you today, and really goes against what you've been worrying so much about in terms of laning phase. And did you feel like your kill was coming right here? I was trying to make him just go back to base, but kept putting the damage, and his HP bar continued to decrease, and I was gonna say, after a few more auto attacks here and there with the flash, obviously, kind of felt like maybe another thing would come through.
He did go back
I was
to base.
really loud in saying nice. So, very expressive of myself. Of course, the mid laner usually likes to call for the jungle to come in, but just going to the solo kill for yourself adds so much value to that. Not even have to have a jungler to get the kills here today. I feel like, you know, getting the solo kills today make me feel like I can get it again in any other team, against any other team I face against next time around. And with BBQ Oliver, obviously, people feel like the chicken power has come to force today. As I was actually, you know, in commemoration, obviously, with the recent Korean holidays, that we had to eat the chicken soup, but I did not eat the fried chickens recently, so maybe there's a difference in that as well. Very, very important first win for you guys, and of course you guys are falling way behind, of course, away from the competition, but of course internally, what do you think the biggest thing, the most important thing that has been a positivity in terms of your team's rising success? You know, before, you know, we won, we were just worried about getting that first win, and now that you got the first win, what do you feel now? I think just avoiding relegation is going to be the biggest thing for us, and try to just go for the later matches onward as well. Of course, a very obvious goal, but obviously a very realistic goal that is needed for BBQ Oliver. And it is your first time doing the interview, and I'm sure you have a lot to say, having missed out on multiple opportunities to say anything you want to say on this stage. And I know the organizational people have been very supportive of us, and even and I did receive a, you know, obviously a birthday, you know, we can give a good birthday gift over to our organizational staff as well. So we do have a lot of fans, obviously, trying to cheer you on. And they've been waiting 2 months, at least, you know, trying to wait for that first win. And real fans is what they are. Of course, you want to say something to them. You know, we thank you for the fans that always cheered out for us, and I know that, you know, some people send me supportive messages on Kakao, and also my parents doing very supportive of me as well. So I'd like to thank all of them as well. And we, you know, definitely saw Tempt improve on the interviews, you know, on today's stage, but I'm sure that, you know, it's been a tough road for BBQ Oliver, but maybe they're finding that string of light. That could be that first win going onwards. It's to better things ahead for BBQ Oliver. First win, coach's birthday, everything, congratulations, but that's going to be BBQ Oliver finally raising the roosters, and we'll send it off to you guys.
Thank you very much, Joel, for the translation. As per usual, BBQ, a momentous occasion for these guys, finally able to put a win on the board. And it's just about the confidence moving forward from having gotten this victory, going into a relegation tournament, which seems almost certain for these guys. Yep. Without picking up a single match, that's going to shatter you mentally. They finally get that win coming through. And they bounce back against Jin Air, who took down King Zone. So you can see, scoreline's not going to be great, but they finally got that blue W, Papa Smithy.
And that part is good for them. They finally get a W next to their name, but you can tell by the 2 dashes to the left of number 10 and number 9 that nothing changes in the standings. Yep. The game scores are both appalling, and unfortunately, there's a lot of catching up to do when you are -12 and -16.
Yeah, like I said, Jin Air, had they gotten this win, would have been, you know, had they closed out the 2-0, would have been moving to a -9. But more matches coming up tomorrow.
A big
Mark
one.
your, you know, set your alarms, mark your calendars. Do not miss this day. Hanwha Life Esports versus Griffin to start things off. Then it's the return of the Telecom War. KT looking to take down SK Telecom this time around.
SK Telecom need to win all 3 matches this week to really have a chance at making that late run to playoffs. Beating KT for a second time would definitely send their fans into raptures, a very real chance of happening. KT has been far from convincing in recent memory. It'll be Smo TV on Friday this week, and then OGN next Friday in terms of that schedule.
Yep.
Griffin versus KT and SKT versus Hanwha is a good Saturday as well at OGN.
I mean, 2 fantastic days coming in, and then, you know, we get to see a FLICKR versus Genji to close things out at the end of the week as well. That should be a pretty exciting one. Kingzone versus MVP, not so much, but you never know. Kingzone, they drop games to Jin Air. Maybe they'll drop an MVP as well.
Kingzone really in free fall, so this is the time you want to be playing them. You're going to have to keep saying that. In the past, if they lost, you thought they would bounce back. Now, we're not so sure.
No clue. Really rough tidings for those guys. Got the loss already earlier today. Gen G in that second place spot. We'll see if they can maintain that. That's it from us tonight. Max and Papa will be back tomorrow for more OG and LCK action. We'll see you then.